very good evening to you. Welcome to World News. I am Wisdom Onisi. First, the headlines. On 2025 budget, reps demand timely submission of medium-term expenditure framework. North Korea destroys roads near South Korean border amid escalating tensions. U.S. authorizes deployment of troops and anti-missile system to Israel. And on sport, Messi hit hat-trick as Argentina beat Bolivia 6-0. Now the news in details. The House of Representatives on Wednesday urged the federal government to urgently transmit the medium-term expenditure framework to the National Assembly to avail lawmakers ample time to work on the 2025 appropriation bill when submitted. This is as the lawmakers drawn across party affiliation expressed displeasure at the practice of delayed presentation of annual budget proposals to the parliament, leaving the lawmakers with little time to do a good job. The resolution of the House follows of a motion of urgent public importance moved by the member representing Abak Etim Eka, Federal Constituency, Akwa Ibom State, Clement Jimbo. Away from that, we'll have you know that the Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities and Allied Institutions has strongly condemned the inauguration of the renegotiation committee set up by the federal government. The committee, inaugurated on Tuesday in Abuja, is tasked with renegotiating the 2009 agreement between the government and university-based unions. In a joint statement signed by SANU President Mohammed Ibrahim and NASU counterpart Peters Adeyemi, the union described the event as a chart, accusing the government of prioritizing the academic staff union of universities while sidelining other unions. The federal government had reconstituted the negotiation committee, giving it a 3-month timeline to conclude its tasks. Still on the local news, we have you know that more than 90 people have been killed and 50 others injured after a gasoline tanker overturned and sparked an explosion as dozens of people rushed to the vehicle to scoop up the fuel, police said on Wednesday. The explosion occurred past midnight in Jigawa State, Majiwa town, after the tanker driver lost control of the vehicle while traveling on the highway close to a university. Police spokesperson Lawan Adam revealed this. Residents who heard about the latest incident rushed to the scene and were scooping up fuel, sparking a massive inferno that killed 94 people on the spot. Adam reviewed this. Videos that appeared to be from the scene showed a massive fire stretching across the entire area, with what appeared to be bodies littered at the scene. Now, when we return, news from other parts of Africa. Stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Hillstv, Polka.
Welcome back. Now, news from other parts of Africa. Month of drought in southern Africa, triggered by the El Nino weather phenomenon, have had a devastating impact on more than 27 million people and caused the region's worst hunger crisis in decades, the United Nations Food Agency said on Tuesday. The World Food Programme warned it would become a full-scale human catastrophe. 5 countries, Lesotho, Malawi, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, have declared national disaster over the drought and resultant hunger. The WFP estimates that about 21 million children in South Africa are now malnourished as crops have failed.
For many communities, this is the worst food crisis in decades. October in Southern Africa marks the start of the lean season, and each month is expected to be worse than the previous one until harvest next year in March and April. A record 5 countries, Lesotho, Malawi, Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, have all declared their hunger crisis a state of disaster and called for international humanitarian assistance. Angola and Mozambique are severely affected as well.
Tens of millions in the region rely on small-scale agriculture that is irrigated by rain for their food and to make money to buy provision. Aid agencies warned of a potential disaster late last year as the naturally occurring El Nino led to below-average rainfall across the region, while its impact has been exacerbated by warming temperatures linked to climate change. Away from that, Sudan is the largest displacement crisis in the world. Vera Joviers, Vice President of the European Commission for Values and Transparency, said as the European Parliament debated the situation in the war-torn country on Tuesday. The conflict in Sudan has generated displacement at the levels unseen since the war in Syria. It is now 10.9 million internally displaced persons in Sudan, and an additional 2.2 million people have crossed the border into the neighboring countries. Joe Roval said the Strongbank Maria Walsh, MEP for Medellin Northwest, said Sudan is the only place in the world where a full-scale famine has been declared in years. She said some estimate that 2.5 million citizens could die by the end of the year. Now we move to other parts of the world after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, news from other parts of the world. A new proposal to legalize assisted dying in England and Wales is introduced in the UK Parliament on Wednesday, sparking concern from senior church leaders and opponents about the implication of allowing the terminally ill to die on their own terms. Lawmakers in the House of Commons will get a free vote on Labour MP Kim Leadbetter's terminally ill adults end-of-life bill, allowing them to vote with their conscience rather than along party political lines. Details have not yet been published, but if passed, a patient's wish to die is likely to need sign-off from a judge and 2 doctors and would be limited to those with 6 to 12 months to live. Away from that, the United States has officially approved the deployment of additional troops and an advanced anti-missile system to Israel, responding to escalating tensions and security threats in the region. This strategic decision underscores the U.S. commitment to bolster Israel's defense capabilities amidst ongoing conflict, particularly with militant groups in neighboring countries. The deployment will include personnel trained in operating and maintaining the anti-missile systems, enhancing Israel's ability to intercept and neutralize missile threat effectively. This move comes at a time when Israel faces increased hostility, including rocket fire from groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and ongoing tensions with Hamas in Gaza. The U.S. administration aims to reinforce Israel's military readiness and deter potential aggressors by ensuring it has access to cutting-edge defense technologies. Away from that, we have know that North Korea has detonated explosives on disused roads near the South Korea border, escalating tensions in the region. The blast occurred mid north of the military demarcation lines, prompting South Korea forces to fire warning shots. This action follows North Korea's accusation that South Korea sent drones carrying propaganda over Pyongyang. Analysts view this demolition as a sign of Kim Jong-un's refusal to negotiate with South Korea. Reflecting a hostile stance, the blast came after Kim's meeting with military officials, where he labeled the drone fight as serious provocation and discussed military responses. This act aligned with Kim's broader strategy to sever ties with South Korea, marking it as a principal enemy and abandoning hopes for peaceful unification amidst ongoing military fortification and tensions. Up next is business. Stay with us. Welcome back now to business news. The Naira has been listed among the worst performing currencies in sub-Saharan Africa in 2024. This is according to the latest edition of African Pulse, a new report by the World Bank. As of the end of August 2024, the Naira has depreciated by approximately 43% year to date, making it one of the region's weakest currencies alongside the Ethiopian birr and South Sudanese pound. The depreciation of the Naira is attributed to several factors, including surging demand for United States dollars in the parallel market, limited dollar inflows, and delays in foreign exchange disbursement by Nigerian Central Bank. The World Bank's report further highlights that demand for dollars driven by financial institutions, non-financial end users, and money managers has exacerbated the pressure on the Naira. Still on business news, Bank of America has reported a mixed financial performance, with net income falling 12% from a year earlier to $6.9 billion, or 81 cents as per share, while revenue rose slightly less than 1% to $25.49 billion. This modest revenue increase was largely driven by a rise in trading revenue, along with fees from asset management and investment banking, which helped offset a decline in the net interest income. As the Federal Reserve has begun to ease interest rates, a crucial question for the bank is how quickly it will benefit from the shift, especially since until has become compressed during the previous rate hikes. Analysts are particularly interested in how falling rates will impact Bank of America's profitability in the coming months. Still to come, a spot. Stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Welcome back now to Sport News. Lionel Messi scored his 10th international hat-trick as Argentina trashed Bolivia 6-0 in World Cup qualifying. The 37-year-old Inter Miami forward, who also set up 2 goals at Monumental Stadium in Buenos Aires, moved level with Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo for the most hat-tricks in men's international football. Argentina are 3 points clear of Colombia at the top of the South American qualifying group for the 2026 World Cup, despite losing to Colombia in September and drawing with Venezuela last week. Messi, making only his 2nd appearance for Argentina since suffering an injury at the Copa America in July, capitalized on defensive error to put them ahead after 19 minutes. Over to cricket, where we have that Pakistan spinner ripped through England's middle order to turn the 2nd test in its head on the 2nd day in Morton. England were making serene progress in response to Pakistan's 366 thanks to Ben Duchart's swashbuckling 114. The tourist reached 211 tool, eyeing a crucial lead only for off-spinner Sajid Khan to inspire Pakistan rival. And that's your sport news on World News. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Stay with us.
This is Hillstv. Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you. Now we be this
Welcome back. Now the rest of the news. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared a stance of zero tolerance in response to a recent Hezbollah attack that resulted in the death of 4 Israeli soldiers. This incident has heightened tensions in the region as Hezbollah, a militant group based in Lebanon, has historically engaged in conflict with Israel. Netanyahu's vows of no mercy indicate a potential escalation in military response, signaling to both Hezbollah and the international community that Israel will take decisive action to protect its forces and data for the aggression. The attack not only amplifies the existing hostilities but also raises concern about the stability of the border region and the implication for Israeli national security. And that's World News. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you on 2025 budget, reps demand timely submission of medium-term expenditure framework. And we also brought to you that North Korea destroy roads near South Korean border amid escalating tensions. We also informed you that U.S. authorizes deployment of troops and anti-missile system to Israel. And on sport, we informed you that Messi hit hat-trick as Argentina beat Bolivia 6-0. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja, Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Wisdom Onisi. Thanks for watching.